Good morning. Right. Last time in class 8, we discussed about muscular force. We discussed the muscular force. What is muscular force? What is muscular force? And I already made some videos how to calculate the resultant force or the net force. Right, based on that we can understand the change in the state of the body, either it is stationary to motion to rest, or change in the speed, speed increases or speed decreases, direction changes. It all depends on resultant forces. Okay, and also discuss first type of contact force, that is muscular force. Then coming to the next one, friction. What is this friction or the force of friction? Friction or force of friction or frictional force. We are well known that. We are well known, very well known that. Right? Whenever we roll a ball on the ground, whenever we roll a ball on the ground, what will happen? It covers some distance. And after that, what will happen? It stops. After that, it will be stopped. Right. Let's see. If I roll a piece of chalk on the floor, it covers some distance and after it stops. See, if I place a piece of chalk, on the floor, and when I push it, what will happen? It moves and it covers some distance and stopped because of the reason when the object is moving, and it stops after covering some distance, even the floor is a smooth one, right? It is stop after covering some distance. So because of the reason, if I place a piece of chalk here, due to no force is acting, it will be rest. Due to no force is acting, it will be at rest. When I apply some force, it comes to motion. It comes to motion. Right? It rolls and it moves on the. If I place a duster on the floor, which is at rest, when I push it for some distance, what will happen? It moves and stopped, because as we know that force can stop the movement of the body. That means force can change the speed of the body. Force can stop the movement of the body. If the body is in motion, then what will happen? When force is applied, there will be some changes are happen. In this case, the duster stopped after moving some distance on the floor. Even the piece of chalk rolled for some distance and stopped, because there will be some force will be act on the moving. There will be some force act on the moving body, which opposes the movement, to restrict the movement of the body. That force which restrict the movement of the body is called friction. Right. So if the object is moving on the another, The object is moving on the other. Let us assume that a surface. If we place a ball or any object which before it is at rest, so when we push, that means when we apply the force F, when we apply a force F, then what will happen? The object starts to move along the direction of applied force. But it won't be move continuously. After some time or after covering some distance, what happened here? The ball or the object stops movement. Here, the body which is in motion comes to rest because of some force will be acted. So that force which restrict the movement of the body, you can call friction or force of friction. Simply, friction means the force which stop the movement. The force which is resist the motion of the body. So whenever we roll a ball on the ground, it covers some different stuff. Whenever we push or pull the object on the floor, it moves some distance and stuck because of the surface exerts some opposite force. The surface applied some opposite force on the moving body. That opposite force we can called friction. We can called as friction. That force we can call the force of friction. Means the surface exert force on the moving body which restrict the movement of the body or the motion of the body. So here two bodies are required. One is the surface, the other one is the any ball or the object, right? So one object or one body is in motion, then the other one is at rest. So I am able to slide, or I am able to walk, I am able to roll a piece of chalk on this floor, right? Piece of chalk or chalk is one object and the surface is also another object. So one object is moving on the other one. So one is in motion, the other one is at rest. So whenever we compare one or two, we can use one term, we can call as relative. Here motion is a relative. That means if the one body is in motion, the other one is at rest. So the force which opposes the relative motion of the body where over the another body we can call friction or the force of friction. What happened when the force of friction is acts on the moving body? So due to force acting oppositely, first of all, the speed of the moving body gradually decreases. Right? The speed of the ball or the speed of the body gradually decreases due to friction. Due to friction. So when the speed becomes 0, then the body will be stationary, right? So because of force acting oppositely, friction acts opposite to the direction. Friction acts opposite to the direction, of motion. That means if the body moves from left to right, then the force of friction acts from right to left. If the body is moving vertically down, then force of friction acts vertically up. If the body is moving vertically up, then the force of friction acts downwards. So that's why the speed of the body is decreases due to force acting opposite to the movement, opposite to the direction of the motion of the body. That's why the speed of the moving ball or the moving body gradually decreases. So finally what will happen? The object will be stopped. So from this we can understand that friction is the force which opposes the relative motion of the body. So it always acts opposite to the direction of motion. Similarly, when we stop the pedaling of our bicycle without applying brakes, without keeping our legs to the surface, then what will happen? The bicycle will become rest. It will be stopped even though we cannot apply any brakes because of force of friction exerted by the ground, exerted by the earth on a moving bicycle. Then when we apply the brakes, automatically there is a force of friction exists on the surface, so the moving vehicle will be stopped. Similarly, whatever it is, when we roll a ball on the ground, right, we will be stopped. Then while we are playing a game, right, we are able to run or walk properly because of the force of friction. The vehicles, even without applying brakes, the vehicle will be stopped because of surface of the earth or the ground exert some force which opposes the motion, of the body. That force we can call friction or force of friction. That force we can call the friction of force of friction.